Hey everyone, NoModMaster here. Next on the list at number 22 is Finch Farm. Finch Farm has a height limit of 12 floors and an area rank of 33. This makes Finch Farm and Red Rocket Truck Stop the same size. So upon discovering the settlement, you'll immediately be approached by Abraham Finch. And he's basically concerned that you're part of the local raider group called Forged. And this group has taken over Saugus Ironworks, which is located near the settlement. And the problem is that Abraham's son Jake recently joined the Forge. And when he did that, he took Abraham's grandfather's sword, which is a heirloom for their family. So he wants you to basically go and get it back. Now when you do this, it's going to be kind of dangerous for lower level players. You can still manage it with a suit of power armor and some good weapons, but it is a little bit easier to do if you're more of a mid-level player. So once you complete that quest, then you'll gain access to the settlement. I'm going to fast forward and show you guys what it looks like after I've gained access to the workbench. So one of the great things about Finch Farm is that it's a fairly flat settlement. You have access to water and you're in a fairly safe part of the Commonwealth. However, one of the most prominent features of this settlement is the highway overpass that goes above it. You can also build up there as well, and I'll show you that in just a minute. The farm here also produces a good amount of mute fruit, so for those that are lower level players, that will be very helpful in your early game. Keep in mind there's also a lot of things here that you can scrap. It looks like there's quite a bit of junk items that are laying around the house, like cars and lots of metal for the most part it seems. Over here is an interesting part of the settlement. As you can see, it's not perfectly square. It has a little cutout here to give you access to the water. So you can put some water purifiers there. Not too much, it's very minimal, but at least you have something. And then over here, there's just more junk and cars you can scrap. Obviously you want to get rid of most of these big items so that you have more room to build around the settlement. Even the trees as well, scrap all of that to produce some wood. And keep in mind guys, on this side of the settlement there are super mutants and bloatflies living nearby. Super mutants are what you're going to have to be a little bit more wary of. They live just beyond this bridge, and the bloatflies for the most part aren't much of an issue. You can just build some turrets, or the settlers themselves. Oh, as I'm speaking of it, we're getting attacked by bloatflies. But the settlers can take care of that for you, or like I said, you can also just build some turrets. Unlike some of the other more dangerous settlements of the Commonwealth, Finch Farm shouldn't require a wall. You should be okay defending it with some more minimal defenses. Now keep in mind, Finch Farm is located in the middle of a network of settlements, with the Slog and Country Crossing being the closest. So the Slog is just up here past Saugus Ironworks. So you shouldn't have any issues when building up this settlement. You'll have plenty of other settlements nearby to create supply lines and to also go to shops to buy resources. Now one thing to note guys is you can never delete the Finch Farm home or any of their beds. Even if you kill the entire Finch family, you cannot delete any of their beds. You can at least sleep in one of the beds once you gain access to the settlement. Okay, so let's go outside and I'm going to take you guys up to the highway overpass and we'll talk about that a little bit more. So what a lot of people will do to gain access to the highway overpass is they'll build stairs. But I would actually suggest trying to build an elevator so that you're not building a giant mountain in the middle of your settlement. However, scaffolding would also work and be visually appealing just like an elevator. Elevators are great because you can disguise them inside of a building, so you really wouldn't see where the access point is if you build a building next to the highway overpass. So keep in mind guys, once you get up here, there are some cars and stuff to scrap, but there's really nothing special up here. It really is just an area for you to build. The one thing that is kind of odd is that you can't see the edge of the settlement up here. You can only see it by looking down on the ground. It doesn't show the green edges up on the highway overpass. So when you build up here, be careful not to walk outside of the settlement and cancel the build zone. And make sure you know exactly where that line is. That's one thing I don't like about the highway overpass. But other than that, everything else is pretty cool, like this awesome view. And the fact that you can put settlers and buildings up here that you want to protect from raiders and other things nearby. So this is hands down my favorite part of Finch Farm. And that pretty much concludes my video for today guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.